Hello there. My name is Heather, otherwise known as Miss Inkypunk, and this is my sketchbook for Inktober. Inktober is a project for the month of October where for every day you produce a new ink painting or drawing. Basically anything with ink. Go nuts. It was created by Jake Parker, who's an illustrator. If you look him up or look up Inktober, you'll find his page. Thousands of artists all over the world take part in this project, and it's really, really cool. So if you want to practice art, it's a really good challenge. Okay, so I don't know if this counts as my first page. This is a Strathmore turned tan paper, I think, something like that. And it's about A5. This cover is custom made, and what you see here is the official Inktober symbol that Jake Parker designed. I had to add some fabulous gold ink to make it extra shiny. I don't know if it's showing up very well on the camera. I used lots of different kinds of ink. I used Pentel brush pen, Winsor Newton ink, and where is it? I also used the Finetec gold palette. And I went a little bit crazy with this. It's a type of mica watercolour, and they are just beautiful. So if you're interested in shiny things, I highly recommend. Okay, so enough blabbering, on with the actual art. There's some actual blabber, twittering about my project. As you can see, blah blah blah, Inktober, created by Jake Parker. My theme this year was spooky steampunk. So everything's a little bit Victorian or Halloween themed. Oh, whatever. So the first day is Kiss of Death. I was going for a Santa Muerte, Day of the Dead theme. Or a kind of Black Widow theme. Hence the skull and the mourning veil. I have to be honest, this kind of got way out of hand. I was trying to do something very simple because I was playing catch up because I started out late. And I spent ages just patterning these little cobwebs and drawing these little skulls. Drawing in all this lace here. Oh, that'll teach me. But she's a really pretty character. I'm really loving how she came out. People have asked me what she is because she's got little pointy ears and gold eyes. I don't know if you can see. And to be honest, I don't know, she's just kind of some ethereal thing. Maybe a goddess of death, who knows. So day 2 was my cybernetic lycanthrope, which is basically just a cyborg werewolf. A lot of people really like this one. And he's done with a dip pen, kind of hatching, I don't know if you can see. And then I used Winsor Newton, I think Sepia ink, to do the brown, and some more Finetec, just for the gold embellishments. And then I used one of my, I think it was my jelly roll pen, just to do the white highlights. So it's quite easy to get a little bit stuck, so it helps to do some just loose sketches to loosen up. So I just doodled these 2 vampire characters. You can see there's more gold embellishment. I think I've done gold embellishments on nearly every page. And yeah, they're just kind of Victorian, steampunky looking vampires. This one freaks a lot of people out. Memento Mori, if you can't figure out what the theme is here, but yeah. I went a little bit crazy with the hair. I was having way too much fun with the brush. Just doing all these swirls and twirls and things. You can see there's a little bit of dry brushing just to give it some texture. And it actually shows up quite well on camera. It's so hard to take a picture of it. I had an idea of the Thread of Fate that the Fates, I think, in Greek mythology had, so she's got that. I was actually going to draw with a pair of scissors in her hand, but as you can see it kind of got lost in this mass of hair. But yeah, she's measuring out a lifespan. The thread. This is my siren. I think she's one of my favourites. she freaks the people out a little bit with the pointy teeth. But I actually really love her. She's got like a fishing net around her arm. I don't know why. But I had a lot of fun. This is a combination of an ink wash and some using a dip pen to hatch. So I went for a cybernetic tail and then like a hand fan for the tail, which hopefully it's not made out of paper, you'd assume it's metal. I actually had a lot of fun doing her hair. I tend to not be very good at it. So day 6 I was having another I don't know what to draw day, so I kind of just did like a zombie character. This is an idea for something that comes later. Doodled a silhouette. And also this character here and a demon thingy. A lot of people like this one for some reason, and I never really drew her, which was fun to draw. I guess she's a vampire or something. Oh, corset. This is probably my favourite. It's another one that people find a bit freaky. And obviously it's based on Victorian corsets being unlaced. And again, this is done with dip pen. And I think this is Copic marker for the background. I can't remember what I used now, because it gave a smoother colour than ink wash, and as you can see the ink wash kind of makes the paper rumple because this is quite thin paper. But I really like how this came out, and I'd quite like to repaint this as a bigger piece because I don't want to tear these out and scan them. So I might repaint this and make it a print or something. Day 8. I'm not too thrilled with how this came out, but to be honest, I don't hate any of the pieces in particular. I'm not sorry that I did them. It's just, looking back, I could have done it better. It's like I was a bit rushed or something. So maybe I'll try this in another medium. It's meant to be obviously a pirate ghost coming out the wall, and I just kind of struggled to get the effect, but I don't think I really planned it very well. So it's kind of ended up being a scribble. But a lot of people still like it, and it's just, maybe it's just me being too hard on myself. This is another one of my favourites. It's the possession piece. I had a lot of fun designing this outfit. I really like designing this character, and she feels like an actual character with a story and stuff. But she's probably the most steampunky looking character in this. That's more Copic marker in the background. I probably cheated a little bit, but she's all done in dip pen again, because that was the main thing I wanted to practice this Inktober. This turned out a lot cuter than I meant for it. It was meant to be 2 actual skeletons or rotting zombies dancing, and it's ended up being 2 very cute little dancers in skull masks. And I think they're very sweet, and I really love this kind of star pattern that I did on her dress. And unfortunately you can see where it got a little bit smudged from the previous page. Same problem with Copic markers, they bleed through the wrong kinds of paper. But I really like how this came out. This is another one that weirds people out, and I can't figure out what I did. And people keep finding it weird that he's shirtless and stuff, but it's being stitched together, so maybe it's being stitched together people find weird. Yes, it's Dr. Frankenstein and his monster. And maybe they probably should have made them a bit older. I'm not sure. It was kind of meant to be my own little take on it. And I quite like how it came out. It's like a more modern-ish, punky-looking version. Oh well, it was a lot of fun anyway. I like drawing people, so. This one's really popular on Instagram, and I have no idea why, because I feel like it's the laziest piece I've ever done. I just kind of went to town with a Pentel brush pen, just to see what I could do. And this is what came out, and it was based on there being a lot of stories around old castles that, you know, a phantom carriage or a phantom horseman will pull up to the castle and then disappear again. And sometimes it marks the death of someone. I'm trying to think if there's a particular castle where like a carriage pulls up and then a member of the family dies, and I can't remember what it is now, but I'm sure if someone knows it, they'll tell me. So yeah, it feels a bit sloppy to me. I feel like I could have done like an ink washer here to make the driver and the horse pop a bit better against the background, but people really like it, so I don't know, maybe I did something right then. Here's the return of my cyborg werewolf, because I just think he's too cute. I really love his design, and I didn't mention this before, I'm not very good at drawing machinery, or straight lines, or anything remotely technical, so he was a really fun challenge, and having to design the arm so it would bend. So he's got like a little piston here that pulls his arm short and stuff. It's a bit simplistic, but I'm probably not the best at anatomy and things like that, so I just think he's a cute, well, I don't know if you call him cute, he's a really cool character though. Really interesting looking character. Maybe I'll draw him again someday, I don't know. Think he needs a name? I can name him. Day 40. So I've ended up doing a lot of the show references, so we've had Frankenstein, now we've got The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I don't know how many people recognise this, but it's meant to be when Dorian sees what he's done to his portrait. If you don't know the story, it's about a young man who unintentionally kind of binds his soul to a very beautiful portrait of himself, so that any sin he does, because the idea is sins leave their mark on your person, you'll start to look crueler, and if you live a hard life, if you burn bright and burn fast, basically you'll wear yourself out, and he never wears himself out. I'm babbling. But yeah, it's Oscar Wilde's one of my favourite writers, and I really like this picture of Dorian Gray, and I never see him drawn, or I never see him depicted as what he should be, which is a blonde. He's always been played by dark-haired people for some reason. I always found that very strange. I suppose someone who looks at Dorian Gray would be quite hard to find. Now this one. This is proof that you do not need expensive materials like a dip pen and fancy ink and blah blah blah, nice brushes, to take part in Inktober, because this was done entirely in ballpoint pen, in a cheap ballpoint pen that I found at work, and then the details are added with a cheap white gel pen. And it's just a picture of a ribbon, it's just how much effort you put into it basically. So you can create some quite nice pieces with just some very simple materials. Okay, so my friend suggested I draw some like zombie hunter type characters, so I designed, I suppose they could be any type of character, they're meant to be steampunky, and there's more gold embellishment. And I'm quite pleased with how they came out. So I'm not sure I got this one, but there's a spider queen and she's all cobwebby and strange, and she was quite fun to draw actually. I'm kind of questioning whether she's got, two pairs of legs to match the two extra arms. Who knows? It was fun drawing the extra arms in. And she's a bit scribbly and messy, but I still like her anyway. Okay, so this is my take on the Queen of Hearts, which is obviously Lewis Carroll. I ended up referencing more novels than I meant to. Oh well. So I really love these kind of when people use the crinolines over the top of dresses and things. Although I did notice I keep doing this kind of fishtail silhouette, which annoys me a little bit, but I'll just have to teach myself not to use it. But I really like her cloak because those Finetec watercolours you can water down so they just add a bit of shimmer. I don't know if you can see. They can be really opaque, but you can water them down like that. I think that looks really cool. So I tried to make it look, I nearly painted in like a kind of Victorian or Elizabethan court outfit, but then I decided to go for something a little bit different. So she's got tattoos and things, I suppose. So, because why not? I kind of just want an excuse to use my gold ink again and just have this tiny little gold embellishment if it... There you go, if it shows up. So alchemy, one of the principles of alchemy is the idea of being able to turn, well, lead into gold. So I wanted to draw someone who's trying to create gold, and it's apparently succeeded. So every steampunk needs a mad scientist, come on. So this is the lady from the first day, that's kind of goddess of death. And this is an attempt at a full body piece, I guess. I'm not sure if I'm entirely happy with the design. I think it's quite effective, and I've kind of made her look a bit like a Grim Reaper type. I still think she's a really cool character. This was another one where I kind of got a bit scribbly with a Pentel brush pen. And I'm not sure if I achieved the right effect, but it was... I like the idea. There's most of these, it's like I liked the idea, I didn't execute it as well as I'd have liked. So if I did this again, I'd probably do it differently, although I'm not sure what I'd do. But I quite like the demon character. I love drawing hands like this. There's like kind of black clawed hands. I don't know why, but I just think they look really cool and creepy. This kind of is not quite the theme, but I really love it. I'm really fond of this. I'd like to repaint this. And this is just a little deer boy, basically. I use like kind of a coppery gold and a sterling silver from the Finetec part, and I just really love how it came out. He's a really cool looking character. This one is Bastet, which is the goddess of the cat goddess from ancient Egyptian mythology. And this is kind of inspired by an artist called Mary Mask. She does these black leather bastet masks with the gilded edges. It's really beautiful, and I just want to draw something a bit like that. And I'm not sure why I gave her such a deep plunge neckline, but my character can do what I want. I intended for her skin to be a bit darker, but it didn't quite come out how I wanted it to. But oh well. I might draw her again sometime. I've got some more ideas for drawing them. This is quite... I feel like it's quite a cute idea, to be honest. I don't know if my perception of cute's strange or anything, but Spring-Heeled Jack, but he's a pumpkin robot thing. Why not? So I suppose this is a little bit inspired by Nightmare Before Christmas. I guess with the Pumpkin King. Who knows? So this one's quite simple, and I don't want to mess my setup, but it's just a cat skeleton. Painted in like a... I think it's called Lunar Gold. On the Finetec cut, it's like an ivory gold colour. I think that's really cool. Over in ink wash, as you can see. Yeah, so I wanted to draw another demon. And this is my golden girl, and God, her colour's being really washed out. But as you see, she's got gold cocks and things on her thing. She's got gold eyes, gold jewellery, and I don't know how well it's showing up because it's kind of showing up a bit white. She was really fun. I guess I could have made her more steampunky because she's kind of wearing a strange kimono thing, but I really like her. I think she's quite cool. And any good steampunk knows you need a kraken. Or some kind of cephalopod. And this was quite, not tedious, quite difficult to draw, drawing all these tentacles. Really fun. I think I could have done better with some of the contrast so you can see his tentacles a bit more clear, but it was really quite a fun project because I've never drawn anything like this before. So I tried to challenge myself a bit because I draw a lot of people and girls and things, so... As you can see in the next page, lots of characters like this, that's what I tend to doodle. Not so much monsters and technical work and things like that. So these are just, yeah, trying to be steampunky looking characters, like they could be in a story or something. It's like a kind of a supernatural demon-y something or other here. A man with a mighty moustache and a lady with a fancy hat, which of course features another octopus, because you need an octopus. So there's another Lewis Carroll. Lewis Carroll, there we go. can see him properly because his eye is being washed out. I drew the Cheshire Cat, like a creepy Cheshire Cat. He's so floofy and I love him. He kind of reminds me of my old cat. That's, yeah, just a bit more kind of sinister looking. He was a lot of fun to draw. I really like the Cheshire Cat. This one is another one where I like the idea and not the execution. I coloured it in with my Pentel brush pen and I think I should have done like an ink wash and made them a bit softer looking. They're two little bat characters and I don't know if you can see. We've got one with a little scarf and goggles and another one with a little pipe who's smoking gold smoke. God knows what he's smoking. And then for my last day, it's just a witch with a skull with a gold background, and I really love doing these gold circles and things. I think the winter moon thing kind of got me hooked on them. And I tried to do like a shimmery eyeshadow for it. You can't really see it, I'm not sure how well it turned out. It's quite a nice piece. The skull didn't turn out very well, I need more practice with skulls. And that's it. The rest of the pages have just kind of been scribbling, so maybe I'll show you them later. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. There's not even a tiny chance of me doing this in one shot, is there?